Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is April 26, 2023, and Barcelona's tight financial situation has begun to affect the club's ability to attract young talent for La Masia. Also, it's reported that the Premier League club Newcastle are keen on signing Raphinha, and we will discuss the rumors of the potential move of Taty Castellanos to Barcelona. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a reminder to please hit that like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way in helping this small and humble channel continue to grow. Also, if you're looking for any Barcelona merchandise or jerseys, make sure you hit the kit bag. The link is down below in the description. Now we'll begin with the news that Barcelona failed to capitalize on Real Madrid's loss against Girona 4-2. And the club lost today against Rayo Vallecano 2-1, failing to increase their lead over Real Madrid from 11 to 14 points. Now, Barcelona had an embarrassing performance in Vallecas, where the entire team played horribly, where they couldn't complete any passes, they couldn't associate well together, they lost the ball constantly, and they made some very silly mistakes. They gave Rayo Vallecano plenty of chances to create danger and eventually win the match 2-1. And this was an unacceptable performance by the entire team, who looked like they were playing in a training match or like they had already won La Liga title, where the entire team lacked any kind of intensity, and they even looked like they had no desire of playing that match. Now, I did a live stream right after the match ended with my entire post-match analysis, and where we had a discussion going about what everybody thought about the teams and the players' performance. So if you are curious about hearing my thoughts about that embarrassing match, make sure to check out the live stream, which should be posted right before this video. Now, this was Barcelona's only third loss this season, and they have once again failed to capitalize on Real Madrid's losses. This is the third time that Barcelona failed to capitalize on a Real Madrid loss, and there are still 7 matches left in La Liga, with Barcelona 11 points ahead of second place. Now, curiously enough, Atletico de Madrid did win their match today against Mallorca 3-1, so they have cut the distance between them and Real Madrid to only 2 points. So it looks like Atletico de Madrid could end up taking that second spot in La Liga table. So this La Liga race is definitely intensifying during this final stretch. Now, speaking of Barcelona matches, tomorrow, Thursday, April the 27th, the Barcelona Femenine will play the second leg of the semi-final of the Women's Champions League at the Spotify Camp Nou against Chelsea, after they won the first leg 0-1 at Stamford Bridge. Now, this will be Barcelona's chance to make the final for the third year in a row. And to make things better, our captain Alexia Putellas has been given the medical green light to play tomorrow after missing out for most of the season, since she did suffer an ACL injury back in the summer of 2022. Now, it's not sure whether Alexia Putellas will play in tomorrow's match, because the Barcelona Femenine coach said that he didn't want to risk her. But if she does, it would be, of course, a huge boost for Barcelona Femenine. And it would be a huge boost for the team's aspirations to make the final for the third year in a row. Now, on to the news that Barcelona have began talks with players to see where they stand in regards to any salary reductions. Now, as I reported previously, Barcelona have presented a feasibility plan to La Liga, where if it's approved, Barcelona will be given some margin to work with in the summer that would allow the club to sign players and possibly sign Lionel Messi. But in order for this to happen, La Liga would have to prove this feasibility plan, where Barcelona are committing to increase the club's revenue, to reduce their wage bill, and also to offload players come this summer. Now, part of this reduction of the wage bill would be to reduce the salary of several of the players of the first squad. And as such, Barcelona have began talking to players to see where they stand on their possible salary reductions. Now, in regards to the highest earners, such as Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba, it's being rumored that if Lionel Messi does come to the club, then both of them are going to want to reduce their salaries because they want to stay and play with Messi. And in regards to Mark ter Stegen and Frankie de Jong, the other 2 highest earners on the squad, right now there is a question mark, with some reports saying that both players are willing to reduce their salaries and other reports saying that they are not. Now it seems that Barcelona approached both Frank Kessie and Andreas Christensen to see if they would be both willing to reduce their salary. And it seems that both players said no, because they did arrive in Barcelona as free transfers, and also they did accept lower salaries because they had much higher offers from other clubs, and they accepted lower salaries to play for Barcelona. So it looked like both players have told the club that they're not willing to reduce their salaries because they feel like they have already made a sacrifice. Now I do understand the position of both Kessie and Christensen, because again, they did arrive for free and they both did accept lower salaries. So I think the club should be focused more on the higher earners such as Busquets, Jordi Alba, Frankie de Jong, and Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Now Barcelona need to reduce their wage bill, of course, so they can register the contracts of Gavi, Sergio Roberto, Marcos Alonso, and Ronald Araujo, and so they can renew the contracts of Alejandro Balde and Ousmane Dembele, and finally so they can sign several reinforcements during the summer. Now it's reported that Xavi's number one option for the center forward position remains Vitor Roque. So Barcelona are gonna have to travel to Brazil to negotiate with Atlético Paranaense the signing of the Brazilian. And of course, Xavi also wants an interior in the midfield, which most likely gonna be Ilkay Gundogan. Also another center back, which is gonna be Íñigo Martínez. And it's now reported that Xavi has requested from the club the signing of a left winger. Now the club currently have two options. One of them is Yannick Carrasco from Atletico de Madrid, but it's reported that Xavi is not too convinced on the player and doesn't think that he would be a definitive starter on the squad. And of course, there's also the option of Abde, who it's reported that Xavi is not quite convinced with the Moroccan winger, but nonetheless, Abde will get his chance during the preseason to prove himself and see if he can earn a spot on the first team. Now, speaking of the club's finances, it's reported that Barcelona's difficult financial situation has begun to affect their ability to attract young talent for La Masia. Now, Barcelona have constantly worked on signing young players in the Spanish market, and they have constantly had to compete with Real Madrid. But as of late, it's being reported that more clubs from the Bundesliga and from the Premier League have begun to shop in Spanish market, which has made it difficult for Barcelona to compete, because given the club's financial situation, their offers have not been as high as many of the offers from the Premier League club or the Bundesliga clubs who have a lot more money than Barcelona. This has made it very difficult for Barcelona to convince young players to come to La Masia, given that these players are being offered much higher contracts from other clubs. And it's also reported that the Barcelona's difficult financial situation is also affecting their ability to retain talent. And the biggest example of that is Victor Barbera, who has refused to renew his contract and instead will be going to Club Brugge in Belgium. And also Elias Akumak, who has also refused to renew his contract with Barca Athletic and will now be joining Leeds United, because both players were offered much lucrative contracts than what Barcelona could offer them. So Barcelona's need to fix their financial situation is not only important so they can sign players for the first team, it's also going to be important for the future of the club, because this will determine their ability to sign young talent for La Masia and also being able to retain that talent until they are ready to make that jump to the first squad. Now, speaking of signing players, it's reported that Newcastle are keen on signing Raphinha and that they are willing to make a huge offer to Barcelona come this summer. Now, Newcastle were recently acquired by a Saudi investment group, and as a result, Newcastle have become the richest club in the world. And in fact, they flexed their economic muscle this window transfer market when they outspend every single European club. Now, part of this effort is to make Newcastle into a competitive club, and having the unlimited resources of that Saudi investment fund, Newcastle are now looking to sign several high-profile players, and it seems that one of those players on their list is Raphinha. Now, Raphinha is not for sale because Xavi does want to keep the Brazilian on his squad, but nonetheless, he's also not one of those players who's on the untouchable list like Gavi and Raphinha. So even though Raphinha is not up for sale, it's reported that if Barcelona do receive a very high offer, that the club could consider selling the Brazilian. Now, I have said this many times before, and in my opinion, I think that Barcelona should offload Raphinha, because I don't think that he is Barca level, since he can't maintain high level of performance throughout the majority of matches. But I think if Newcastle make Barcelona a very lucrative offer, then that's even more reason for Barcelona to offload him. Because given the difficult financial situation, Barcelona should not turn away lucrative offers for any players unless it's one of those untouchable players like Pedri or Gabi. And Raphinha is not simply on the level of those players. Now, speaking of attackers, there are a lot of rumors right now in the media about Barcelona's possible signing of Taty Castellanos. Now, Taty Castellanos is a 24-year-old Argentinian forward who currently plays for Girona, and where he joined Girona on loan from the MLS team New York City FC. And after his incredible performance yesterday against Real Madrid, where he scored 4 goals against Los Blancos, there's a lot of rumors now swirling in the media that Barcelona could entertain the thought of signing Taty Castellanos. Now, I'm here to tell you that those are nothing but rumors. Barcelona are not considering the signing of Castellanos, and he's not on the objective list. The main objective remains Vitor Roque, with other options that serve as plan B in case Barcelona cannot get the Brazilian, but Taty Castellanos is definitely not on that list. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.